Well, hello everyone, and welcome to The Weird Man. This is the fourth episode of Series 2. The Weird Man is an exploration of the access of leadership for everyone. So far in this series, I've been talking about that leadership has an access to a powerful resource in the recognition that we are part of a larger reality than the reality we perceive with any sensing, either directly or scientifically or intuitively or psychically. I propose that access to this resource is a function of being and in action as virtue, spirituality, and the generation of futures. And that the access to this resource of the larger reality is already in that being and action as virtue without turning to any more spiritual or mystical practices. Furthermore, we can consider that the experience of being a leader as the clearing for leader creates an attraction for or an invitation to the tools and strategies appropriate to the circumstances of leadership. The clearing of leadership is a clearing in which the strategies and tools relevant to the generated future and the current circumstances and contingencies can therefore show up. Consider, therefore, that the tools and strategies that support leadership are largely impotent before a clearing of leadership is established or generated. In other words, before you are being a leader. Being a leader is created in the language of virtues, spirituality, and generated future. What I call Love SG. Love SG is the source of being a leader and the source of leadership access to the larger reality, while it simultaneously creates action in the world. In living as that Love SG happens in the larger reality from which we appear as an experience in the world, leadership is fully human. As an exercise, we could imagine that there is an elevation from which to see the whole space-time matrix, as if you're looking at the painting of a master for whom at any moment you are a paint stroke on that canvas, just there, doing what you're doing, being what you're being. Now, the exercise is nothing at all like a large reality might be, in that we cannot get that reality. In the same way that a flick of two-dimensionality cannot really get in any way the larger three-dimensionality as a way of looking at things. I won't say any more about that right now. Right now, let's look at generated futures. If you want to go to those places that are generated futures, then just notice where you are right now as Love SG, as a language or conversation of virtue, spirituality, and generated futures. Have a good look around. You've got to be able to say, oh, okay, I know where I am now. And I don't mean spatially, I mean in terms of virtue, spirituality, and generated futures. So what is it that shows up as virtues for you? How many can you distinguish? Linda Popoff designed a chart of 52 virtues. Likewise, what is it that shows up as spirituality? That is bringing virtue to bear through effort in action. What is it that shows up as the generation of a future or futures under spirituality? That is a civilizing achievement. And what is your future building project? Your leadership project. Leadership and your leadership project is the realization of a future that wasn't going to happen anyhow. Work on your leadership project. To define it, start with a matter of concern for yourself and others in your life. Make a list of these. When I mean a concern, I don't mean a worry, something that's important to you. Choose something that moves you, touches you, inspires you. And if there's nothing like that around, just pick one. Keep it simple. See what sliver of your ambition you could realise in a few months. For example, there is laughter every day in my workplace. Write it down. Rewrite it as it is in the future. For example, every day there is laughter in my workplace. It's something that happens. Now give your project a catchy label. For example, giggle work. I'd love to hear what you want to work on right now. Leave something in the comments below. A leadership means working with others to make the future happen that wasn't going to anyhow. Why don't you just start sharing that future with others, especially those who are also a party to it, especially those. You can share it like it's a fun idea. It doesn't matter at all. Start tossing it around and see what comes back, like a hacky-sacky ball game. You know the one. Next week we'll talk about how that gets from the talking to the doing while you aren't looking. Bye for now.